Don't ever, ever allow me to sing, okay? Just don't allow it, because it's not good. It's funny if you want to laugh, if you want to be entertained in a comedic way. I can sing. I've done that before. I've been known to do that once or twice. We are going to do yoga though, all right? We are going to do no singing today, except for that first part, which we are definitely deleting, all right? So we are going to start in our open seated meditation this evening. Find a block, a pillow, a blanket, a table. Don't sit on the table. Clearing the mind. Focusing on the inhalation and the exhalation. Otherwise known as breathing. That's a fancy way to put it here in yoga land. The inhalation and the exhalation. Beginning to add some movement into our neck, rolling side to side. Now doing likewise with the hips. Feel free to lose your blanket or your pillow or your table. Definitely lose your table if you chose that route, because that could go poorly as we add movement for our Sufi grind. I did not make that up. Somebody did. Sufi, probably. If you're on a pillow or blanket and you chose not to lose it, you are going to be sort of needing to engage your core at this point to avoid a toppling. All right? So we do not want to topple. To avoid a toppling, you may, as noted, lose your pillow or blanket. All right, friends, we will now move up into our tabletop position where we will go through our cat-cow series. Hands, palms planted on the floor, knees on the floor, feet on the floor, toes outstretched. We will lift through the upper back, pulling our shoulders up and forward, dropping our head, dropping our tailbone and rounding through the spine. For cat. Lifting the gaze, dropping the back and raising the tailbone for cow. As we move into our cat, you may choose to tuck your toes and push up. Dropping the toes, dropping the back, lifting the gaze. I can feel it spreading when it begins. Moving through our cat-cow rotation, focusing on stretching through the shoulders. You should feel this in your shoulders, shoulder blades. And one more.
see you moving, I can breathe. My mind.
Before we push back into our child's pose, feet coming together, knees wide. If you so choose to do your wide leg child's pose. And sinking forward, hands coming forward. Head is dropping to the mat.
The prize on my head, we're flying till the moon. And when it will be late to find a way to escape, they're gonna take your lipstick and mark it on my grave. I'm crazy for a woman, careless to the clues. The secret name was Trouble, and her tigers were the fuse.
Inner corner. Inner corner.
Cause moon, you wait in my room, and I can see you smiling. I said my doom, I said my doom, I said my doom, I said my doom, I said my.
From our child's pose, hopefully we are now nice and focused, present in our bodies as we shift our weight forward, bringing our legs back. Hands planted alongside our armpits, elbows are bent, and we are pushing up, lifting our torso, rounding through the spine, engaging the glutes to support the lower back, engaging the hamstrings for our cobra. And back down. We will cobra this 5 times. Warming up the back. Straightening through the legs, keeping the legs together, cinching the legs. Feel this through your triceps. We'll do one more cobra before pushing up into our downward facing dog. Hands, palms planted on the ground. Tailbone lifted to the sky. Toes on the mat. Making your body into a V as we walk our hands and feet slightly closer together. Bringing our chest towards our thighs. Gaze is back towards your feet. And when you are loose, dropping heels to the floor. Pushing back through the palms. From our downward dog, we will walk our feet to the center of our mat and stay in our standing forward fold. Feet are slightly closer than shoulder width apart. can grab your big toes here, pull a little deeper into this standing forward fold. And the Buddha is misbehaving already. Position your feet so that you are stable. And you may set an intention for your practice if you have an intention lined up in the intention cue. Or you may take this time to rest. This is an engaged form of rest, by the way. Pose of stillness. From our pose of stillness, hands coming to the sky overhead, slight bend in the back, hands together, reaching extended mountain pose. From our extended mountain pose, we will move into our seated standing. Side bends. Feet are together. Bringing left arm overhead. Right hand slides down the right thigh. And we are reaching to our right. Opening through the left side. Dropping left arm now, down left thigh, right arm comes up, reaching overhead, lifting to the sky and ceiling for standing side bend on the right side. From our standing side bend, we will begin twisting at the waist, pulling, not really pulling, but allowing our momentum to pull our left shoulder and then our right shoulder forward, and swinging our arms freely for standing twist or willow tree, if you prefer the more naturistic version of yoga pose names. It's fun. It's fun to call it willow tree. I'm easily amused. From our willow tree, we will bring our right foot forward, bending right knee, left leg extended back, and dropping left knee to the floor. For our low lunge, arms lifting to the sky, gaze is lifted, sinking into the bent knee.
I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. You hear yourself when no one's to be found. What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind? You better, guess you want this. I've won this. Everybody in this, you should have it. Stop illusions. It's in your hands.
Dropping hands to either side of left foot. Straightening left knee and sinking tailbone back for half split. And moving through our low lunge, back up into our low lunge, and we will move through our low lunge to half split rotation. Exhale back. Inhale up. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Each time dropping a little closer to your knee. Each time from our low lunge, we will bend the back a little more, warming up. On the final half split, stepping back into down dog, bringing now our right foot forward, bending the right knee, dropping the left foot to the ground. I think I may have said that backwards the first time. I don't know. Who knows? We don't pay attention to the direction here. That's one thing that we have written off. Floating hands to the sky for our low lunge, sinking into our bent right knee. Grounding through the right foot, the top of the left foot to stabilize. Engage your core. Dropping hands, extending right knee, dropping left hip towards the ground, sinking chest to thigh, nose to knee. And lifting arms to the sky for our low lunge half split rotation. Rolling back. Really working to stretch through the back, running up the back for our later back bends.
You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me. Break my spell, 'cause the darkness did it well. If I let you, would you take a chance?
And with this final half split.
Chasing ghosts, they are all gone.
We will return now to our downward facing dog, walking out our dog and mentally preparing ourselves for our sun salutation A series. Walking it out, rotate side to side, stretching through the side body. Before stopping, stepping, or hopping to the center of our mat, we are meeting in the middle, as noted previously. From our standing mountain-ish position, extending arms overhead, slight bend in the back for extended mountain pose, hands together in prayer as we drop hands through heart center into our forward fold. Hands on chin, extending through the spine, lengthening halfway to lengthen. Palms coming forward, feet dropping back into high plank, dropping into low plank for our chaturanga, pushing into upward facing dog, and back into downward facing dog. Stepping or jumping feet together. 5 sun salutations. Unless you guys want to go 10. Let's see. Let's feel it out. We're definitely doing 10. Sorry to say it. Two more? I don't know. I have no clue. Very nice, my yoga friends. From our sun salutation, we will stay here in the middle of our mats, or kind of like the upper quadrant of our crooked mat, if I may correctly state that. We will meet feet grounded, legs engaged, lifting up through the kneecaps, engaging the quads for our mountain pose. Hands together at heart center, gaze forward, or you can engage your shoulders, because that was kind of like a mountain pose of stillness. And if we're going to go full on up the mountain, we're pulling our shoulders back and engaging our back, engaging our upper back and shoulders. And engaging fully for our mountain pose. All right. Before you get too engaged with the mountain, we must plant some trees. We are going to now root through our left leg, bringing our right leg up. Right foot is going to plant on our inner thigh or our shin, or right here where it is, wherever you want to plant it for our tree. And when you are ready to plant the tree on now the right side, plant the right foot on the mat or the floor. Hands lifting overhead. In prayer position, lifting the left leg, planting left foot on right inner thigh. And when your tree starts to swaying to and fro, refocus, and step your right leg forward, dropping left foot back, straight left leg. Foot is going to drop at a 45-degree angle, and we are sinking into our beloved Warrior One. Hips rotated forward, gaze is forward, hands are lifted, and we are sinking as deeply as possible into our bent right knee. It's okay to shake. It's a good thing. Dropping arms now down to the sides. Gaze is over the extended right arm. Sinking back into our right knee for Warrior Two. Chest is opening towards the front. For some reprieve, we will drop our right arm onto our right knee or onto the floor. For extended side angle, bringing left arm over, down in front of the body and around, lifting overhead for extended side angle. And returning briefly into our warrior two before straightening our right leg, dropping hand to the shin or to the floor, opening chest, lifting left arm to the sky for triangle. Gaze is lifted. From our triangle, legs remaining wide, and we will shift our hips completely forward and hinge at the waist for a wide-legged forward fold, intense leg stretch. Here you may place your hands on the floor. You may interlock or fold your arms underhead. Use your body weight to pull you forward. Sway side to side, just stretching through the hamstrings. Like to grab your big toes and pull yourself slightly more deeply into your intense leg stretch. You may do so. From here, we will rotate into now our warrior one on the left bent knee. Right leg is back, sinking into our bent left knee. Arms coming overhead, gaze is lifted for warrior one. Hips are rotated towards the left foot. The more you shake, the stronger your warrior will become. At least that's what I have convinced myself of. And dropping hands to the sides. And looking over now the left extended arm, opening through the chest. And sinking back into that oh so fresh left hamstring for warrior two. When you've had enough fun, for one warrior two, you may drop your left forearm to left thigh, or bring your left hand to the floor, dropping right arm in front, rolling it up into our extended side angle. And right arm drops, pulling yourself momentarily back up into warrior two. Extending left leg. Left hand slides down, either resting on left shin or coming to the floor in front of your left foot. Right arm extends to the sky. We're opening through the chest for triangle, extended triangle pose. Here, lifting back up and momentarily sinking back into our wide-legged forward fold before we move into our favoritist bird named avian yoga pose, Mr. the Crow. So do whatever you need to do in this quiet inversion to mentally focus and clear the clutter for the Mr. Crow. Mr. the Crow, to be more accurate. What do you think? Should we take a vote? Is it the Mr. Crow or Mr. the Crow? I think it's the Mr. Crow. I don't know. I need a head count. I need a hand count. I need to tally something. I can't rely on myself for such an important decision as that. All right, friends, yoga friends. As we know, the crow, we will start in our sumo squat, okay? Feet are shoulder width apart roughly, because we are going to plant our hands now on the floor and lift our, what are these? These things. These are hips. These are also butts. And we're going to lift that to the sky and we're going to plant. They're not. Okay. We are lifting, extending the legs, planting our knees and our elbows and floating forward, bringing feet together. Fixed focal point out in front, down. And jumping, or stepping, or dropping or flopping out of your crow when you are ready to leave the Mr. Crow, Mr. the Crow, for the day. All right, Mr. the Crows, we are now going to take our seated position. Yay and hooray. Right, my friends? But don't get too excited because we are now moving into staff, which, if done to its fullest potential, is not the friendliest of the poses, okay? So legs are extended, toes are pointed to the sky, and you are lifting your feet to the sky, engaging through the quads, pushing down on your palms that are by your hips, and we are engaging through our triceps and shoulders, and dropping the head, the throat lock, which doesn't sound pleasant. All right, we will take it down a notch from our staff pose, bringing our right leg in here into our extended left inner thigh, and we will fold forward for half dragonfly. Hinge at the hips, try to keep the back lengthened. Very good, they're half dragonflies. I don't know what the full dragonfly is, that just dawned on me. I guess is the full dragonfly when you do this, when both legs are out, I guess? And you're, I guess. So now left knee is bent. I'm an excellent verbal cue giver, right? Left leg's now bent, left foot into the inner right thigh, and we are bringing our chest to the floor forwardly to the extent possible. Half dragonflies. This one's better. This one's more logical, I think. It's not easier. I don't think it's easier. It's easier to comprehend the angle of incidence. Okay? Feet coming together as inwardly as possible. And we will flap our wings, keeping our back straight. The flapping of the wings thing is optional. It's actually not part of the original yogic butterfly. But we don't know that. I mean, I know there were some monks flapping their wings. I know that there were. Don't tell me there weren't. Please don't. Because I'm going to call shenanigans on that. The monks they wanted to have fun. They did. Just didn't know it. They did have fun. They had fun because they were making up this fun stuff for us. It's got to be fun. Okay, the wing flapping is optional. So we are now sinking forward, and we are bringing our feet. We're probably not bringing our feet anywhere. We're not from this pose anyway. Our feet are pretty well wedged in there. We are bringing our head towards our feet, and you can grab your toes, and you can use your arms to widen your wings and pull your antennae towards your feet, and you may extend and lower through your butterfly if you would to do a more dynamic flutterby. We will now move into our two-legged, extended-legged, two legs that are extended, seated, forward fold. hinging at the waist, pulling ourselves forward, or simply reaching towards our toes. This is not Ashtanga. We're not doing the full Ashtanga set, but please do that with me too, because that's so fun. Where we do different versions, very distinctly detailed, minutely detailed variations of the same pose. Two-legged seated forward folders. We will now be placing our right bent, we're going to bend our right knee, and we're going to put our right foot over our extended left leg, and we are going to take our left arm outside side of our right knee and twist through the spine. Right hand's coming back behind our lower back to support, and we are twisting looking over our right shoulder. For a seated twist. And switching sides now, bending our left knee, bring our right arm, right outer upper arm, the outside of our bent left knee. This arm, left, behind our lower back to support, and looking over now our left shoulder. Very well twisted, my friends. Very, very well twisted. From here, we will move into our boat pose. Do you guys think we need to put the fire back on? I mean, we probably do, because warriors get cold, you know? Which means I have to go on a trip. I'll be back. Flames a flamin'. Because that makes us damn closer to the perfect yoga studio, right? And this, see this? I'm even like to learn some tricks now. Might have to introduce those. No, I'm not going. I might. Boat pose is where we are. Okay. I can be, okay. Feet in the air. Hands reaching. Back is straight. Quads and glutes are engaged. Well, I mean, they probably are, but they're this core. Boat pose. From our boat pose, we are rolling over onto our stomach. This sphinx is pointed northeastward towards the sun. Okay? In the sphinx, your elbows are going to be under your shoulders, 90 degrees. Okay? And pushing up to the torso. Legs are engaged, cinched together, and we are greeting tourists as they enter the pyramid viewing area. Oh, and guarding some mummies that have now probably been unearthed and unwrapped. But we still look very cool and intimidating in the middle of the metropolis. The Sphinx is what we are referring to. From the Sphinx, we will move into our probably one of our least favorite poses. Let's all be honest about the locusts. We don't like them, they scare us. You know that they do. You know that they scare you. We don't know why, but we think that it's probably because of the biblical tales. I mean, they're scary anyway because they're gross, but innately, I think we have a bigger fear of locusts than we should due to our Catholic roots, or otherwise any roots that we have. We probably hate locusts just due to internal childhood inferences. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I don't like locusts. That's all I'm saying. And I don't like this one either. Legs are lifting. Glutes are squeezing. Arms are straightening, and we are reaching our hands back towards our feet, lifting our chest. Gaze is lifted, and we are engaged, and we are feeling it. Okay, it's not helping the aneurysm. The locust is not. I'll be honest with you right now. It's not helping it. I'm not even sure if the bridge is going to help it. Might help it along. Might do that. Okay. We are lying upon our back now. From the locust, you may just roll over if you would like. That sounds locusty, and it sometimes sounds bridgy. Feet are planted firmly on the ground, pushing up through the heels, engaging the glutes, squeezing the glutes, lifting the pelvis to the sky. Hands drop, shoulders tuck beneath your chest slightly, and we squeeze our glutes, and we are a bridge. From our bridge, we will move into a much more pleasant pose. What we like to call here the warbler. Bringing your knees to your chest, bending your knees, tucking your knees into your chest, and hugging your knees, drawing them into your chest, swaying side to side, rocking side to side. This is an excellent lower back massage. It's worth money. But it's not as fun as money. But it's effective. It's as effective. And from the wind releasing or warbler pose, we will move into our reclined pigeon. Easiest way to get into this pose, take our right foot over our bent left knee. So, like so. Extending left leg and pulling left leg threading the needle with your hands so that your hands are clasped behind your left leg, and you will pull your left leg, your extended left leg, towards your chest for that intense stretch in your right hamstring in your reclined pigeon. And now switching left leg over bent right knee, extending right leg, threading the needle, hands clasping behind the right leg, pulling right thigh towards chest as we stretch through the left hamstring. Very nice. From here, we will drop both knees to the left side, arms out to either side, looking over our right shoulder for spinal twist. And bringing legs through center as we drop both knees to the right side, looking over left extended arm. From our spinal twist, we will come into our Shavasana position. It's coming. It's coming. Grabbing our left wrist with right hand and pulling to our right side for supine side bend. Should feel this through your left side, left bicep, tricep, tricep. It's hard to tell at this angle. Your arm feels like it's on backwards. Don't ask. Just do. If you're doing it, you know what I'm saying, don't you? Okay, so left hand grasping now right wrist. Owie, that's my shoulder saying that, not me. And pulling towards our left side. All right, and releasing into your Shavasana. Hands dropping to the sides of the side body. That's right. We are releasing and relaxing our minds, our muscles, and our breathing.
touch this same floor our world has been shaking on. Oh, what's your soul saying? Oh, is your world changing? Oh, what's your soul saying? Oh, is your world changing? Your face tells me always things your mouth often spares, and I hope you know I do what it takes
All right, yoga friends, I hope
to your day. Oh, what's
that you have nothing planned for this evening or this morning. And you can stay in Shavasana for an indefinite amount of time. I have to wrestle the peacock, and I have to watch the Tar Heels wrestle the Panthers. So I must engage. I must now engage my nemesis, my arch enemy, my arch rival, the peacock. We all know who we're talking about here. Left, not left, right. I'm just practicing in case I forget, which I often do. So, both. So you don't have to call them out by name. Both hands will be planted on the ground backwards, fingers facing towards the toes. We will lift our bodies off the ground with reverse gravity techniques. And that's what's going to happen. And probably you don't talk like that to the peacock, first of all. You don't talk all cocky when you're around the peacock. You don't say, this is what's going to happen. You say, oh, greatest peacock, may I share a bit of your wisdom? And then you try it. All right. And pop some blood vessels sometimes when you're messing with the peacock. You can get some eyes pecked out. You can get some aortas ruptured. I mean, just be careful, all right? It puts a lot of pressure on your human force field, okay? And your internal human pressures. So just peacock with caution. And I saw recently someone do a one-handed peacock. I wanted with every ounce of my being just to go and knock their one hand off like that, just like accidentally act like I tripped and knocked them. All right, let's not be haters, and let's just relish the progress that we have made on the peacock that has actually two legs, okay? We aren't going to think about the one-handed peacock. We need our thoracic cavity to last a few more years, or ideally even longer. So let's just forget about the one-handed peacock, okay? And be happy with our progress.